Welcome back to the Brew Crew podcast, everyone. This is episode 124. I'm JT. I'm a Cancer. We're back in the church room bar. The whole crew's here. As what's that guy? Drake said. The whole crew's here. Is that what he said? I know he started from the bottom.
Like the dragon, like a small dragon. This Drake. Sir Ferdinand Drake.
I don't know. I don't know any other pseudonyms other than Drake. Maybe that's not a pseudonym. Maybe that's his actual birth name. I'm not sure.
I'm not.
We've never spoken.
The Canadian one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Raptors guy.
Big Raptors guy.
He's a basketball fan.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here. That's what he says.
Okay. I believe you.
I say started from the bottom.
Well,
still at the bottom.
You're definitely helping us out with that urban crowd that we're looking to expand into.
I thought we talked pre-production about our market research. We need to pull in new demographics, and I thought that
this is definitely
would be
trend
the
that way.
appropriate way to go.
Yeah. Good thinking.
Can't wait.
Drake,
well-rounded.
From what I know, he
started at the bottom.
I'm not looking for. Well, he did.
He owns his own plane.
He did start at the bottom, but he. What do you call it when you overlap several
Venn
demographic
diagram.
groups? Yeah, he Venn diagrams multiple.
He's a crossover.
He's
like an SUV.
He's like a Mazda.
It's like a Subaru.
No, what's the? Yeah. He's like a Nissan
is he a
Rogue.
Is he a Forester?
Yeah. A Forester. Is that a crossover or more like a? Is that the station wagon one?
I thought all Subarus were crossovers because they're like station
like
wagons that are like jacked up.
You know what Subarus are. They're built with love, because if there's one thing I care about when I'm riding in a vehicle is making sure that it's built with love.
Yeah.
I
mean, you don't want just some hateful person building your car.
That's right up there with a expansive glove box. Those are like the two most important things. Built with love.
Oh, yeah. Expansive glove box is important. I want my glove box to hold cans.
I can't stand it when my vehicle is built with technical expertise.
Yeah, right. Would you rather have a hateful technical expert or a loving novice?
I mean, it sells vehicles.
You want love.
Down.
Yeah, love.
You only get those two choices.
Built with love.
Anyone who's building cars lovingly is
fuck?
probably not a technical expert.
Yeah.
Because you haven't built enough cars yet. If you still love it...
Podcast.
You haven't done enough.
Yeah.
That's why we're still drinking beer.
And it's built from the ground up, bottom to the top to the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know which, but I'm glad we're talking slogans, because I got some slogan stuff for you guys later.
Good.
That's a teaser.
Oh.
Segment 3.
Cool,
some
man.
slogan stuff. We're going to get deep.
I have more love the more beer I drink. I find that out. I'm more amorous.
Oh, yes. Same here. I'm more outgoing and loving.
So after enough beers, stay tuned. We'll probably go build a Subaru.
Fuck yeah, we will.
We will. We'll just do it.
We have all the parts. We're ready.
Yeah.
We're just waiting to get drunk.
95% of it is love. You watch their commercials.
Well, for us, 95% is getting hammered.
Yeah, I mean, we could use the aluminum from the cans. The glass from the bottles for the windshield.
A recycled Subaru. The 3 R's.
And it will run on piss and vinegar.
Yes, it has to. I'm not putting gas in that thing.
No.
Shit costs money.
You got some news?
Yeah, I got some news. Yep, this is a new segment. So this is food beer news.
That's not what I had.
You're good. I have to grab the phone because I don't want to screw up the 2 companies involved in this.
Because if anything, we're accurate.
So this is kind of your thing. So I hope that I'm not, taking your thing. Because you were doing for weeks at a time. He's
pointing at Chris, for those of you that are just listening.
Pointing at Chris. He would do... he'd bring a new beer that was being invented with like a food flavor. Well, I found one.
Excellent.
California chip company Taco Works is teaming with Tio Rodrigo Craft Beer Michelades. And they're spicing up this year's game day experience, I'm guessing for the Super Bowl, with the world's first ever tortilla chip beer. The best chip.
So is it a pairing or is it a tortilla chip? Is it a pairing or is it a beer that
this is
tastes like
this is a tortilla chip beer.
Fuck, that's too confusing.
It's going to be good. Tortilla chip is the best chip, as many of you know, and I did. That is a repeat of 4 seconds ago when I said it. It's a tortilla chip lager. It will be available in select California retailers and online for California home delivery. And it will come with a complimentary bag of chips. Doesn't say what kind of chips, but hopefully tortilla. Hopefully the lime ones, because those are my favorite.
Or Julio's.
Oh, Julio's, yeah. If you're going with the regular tortilla
You want that?
chips,
You want to wash down all that MSG with the tortilla chip flavored
So
beer.
good. After watching Uncle Roger, I'm a big fan of MSG now. MSG it's not harmful.
No.
I'm gonna buy a big bag of it.
So it sounds like it will be.
I don't think
chips and salsa. It's actually. It sounds like they've misnamed it. It's more like a chips and salsa beer.
Okay, I don't want a tortilla chip beer.
I do.
It's SLO beer brew, brew beer. So what's slow brew beer? Is that like a type of brew?
Yeah, like slow poke.
Slow poke beer.
Shlomo.
So this is slow brew beer. SLO
And his buddy
all
Sam.
caps. So I'm guessing it's an acronym of some sort.
Yeah.
It will include tomato juice, crisp lime, and
Nope.
all natural spices.
I want to try it. Do you want to try it? Or
I do
not
want to try it, but I don't know how we'll be able to.
Yeah, we can't.
We can't, but I do want to try it.
Yeah.
I love tortilla chips, and I think it would be. I mean, if you can get it to like a Mexico salsa type flavor, and not like that Epicurean tomato beer you gave us.
Too close.
That shit was gross. But if you can get it like salsa like, and you eat chips with it, fuck yeah, that'd be awesome. Nice hint of lime.
I'm gonna hedge my bet. I think it's gonna be a miss. I don't know. I feel like it's like that pretzel beer from Colorado Brewery that we had at bowling a few years ago. The smell was awesome. It smelled like a pretzel. Then you tasted it, and it just tastes like sad and disappointment. That's what I pictured.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be successful. I don't think it's going to work. But
I'm
rooting
morbid.
for it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want it to be successful, and it sounds
100%.
The idea sounds great.
Yeah.
But ideas and execution rarely go the way it's planned.
They really work out.
So I don't think it's going to work.
I'm in on that. I would if you had $100 that you found on the ground, and you bet against it being a 3.75 or higher. Where would you place your $100 bet on that beer? Listening to JT's app description.
I would bet on it being lower than a 3.75.
Okay. So we're in the same place.
Yeah. I
JT?
want to try it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
You'll try anything once.
Yeah.
Sure.
Besides more Wild Ohio beer.
Well, we've already tried it once.
I've tried it.
But I said more.
More.
Yeah, more.
I think gimmick beers start with like the
Good intentions.
the expert community, expert community, which I'm sure a lot of them are experts, far smarter than me at beer. They already don't like gimmicks. So it starts, those guys, and they're more prone to probably rate it on Untapped.
Mm-hmm.
I think gimmick beers are strictly designed for the conversation and for the advertising.
Yeah, and for the people who seek out gimmick beers. I like gimmick beers.
So then make it
I
a
don't have
limited
problem with
run.
it.
Just make your buck and then cash.
I mean,
cash
we're
Yeah,
here in
exactly,
Ohio
yeah.
talking about this beer that we just cannot get. It's
Exactly.
in California.
That's a great point.
It's just a ton of advertising, word of mouth. Now it's on BCP, so it's going to blow the fuck
Now
up.
it's blowing up. Yeah.
Drake's going to get involved.
Yeah, Drake will probably be drinking it in a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, he's probably already invested in the company. Now they're going to make the
Probably.
commercial, and then they're going to double up the money.
Speaking of Super Bowl commercial, this is what I thought was the big news.
Well, I heard this news as well, but I didn't bring it.
So, a 37-year stalwart of the Super Bowl commercials is not going to be there this year.
Yes.
And this is a multifaceted. We could do 2 hours just on why they say they aren't going to do it. But Budweiser, which I'm sure the Troublers have already heard, is stepping back. There's still going to be Bud Light commercials, so mouth breathers and
Bud Light, seltzer, all of their other product. I think there's 4 different products that Budweiser as a whole is advertising.
Yep, they're in
They're
that,
just
yep.
not doing the actual Budweiser itself.
Yeah,
horse commercial.
the Clydesdales.
Whatever. Yeah. What was frogs and all that
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
that was cool. I like that one.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's good.
But do you guys say what they're taking the money and doing with Budweiser? So CBS is charging this year $5.5 million for a 30-second spot. They are. We were going to advertise this year, but we negotiated to $4.25 million, and they reneged on it.
They
So
declined.
more on that later. Do you hear what they're doing with the money, though? The $5.5 million that they would have had earmarked for the first time in 37 years.
Vaccine awareness.
Vaccine awareness.
Yeah. Vaccine awareness.
Wow. Really. Wow.
Reading the articles online about this topic, from an advertising perspective, it's supposedly a difficult year to advertise during the Super Bowl because you're kind of threading a needle of not making too much fun of COVID,
Sure,
and then not making it too sad and mopey.
Yeah.
It's a very thin hole to shoot, if you will, to be successful this year in the Super Bowl as far as advertising is concerned. Because you're going to get some that are just going to bum you out, and you're going to get some that are like, that's probably tacky, and not well thought out. And then there's probably going to be a handful in the middle that maybe you're good. I don't know. I don't know, but there's supposedly a lot of companies aren't really wanting to advertise this year because they just don't know which direction to go, and they definitely don't want to shoot themselves in the foot.
I postulate this is the year to advertise. If you're going to advertise and you have a crack staff, and hear me out on this, people aren't getting together having massive Super Bowl parties.
Yeah.
But people are still going to watch the game, and people are probably actually going to pay more attention instead of mingling, talking about their Subaru in the background. True. Just the Super Bowl's going on in the background, and I'm having a conversation with Cobra. I'm having a conversation with JT. I'm not paying attention to the commercials. I bet this is going to be one of the more highly rated ones because, again, there will be more sets on watching the game as opposed to people 18, 20, 25 individuals getting together and only having one or two TVs on. I could be wrong. Maybe people just, elect to, read or donate their, time to a soup kitchen or something like that. But
I'm sure that's happening.
I think there's an opportunity here. Should they try to thread that needle?
Yeah.
Just a possibility.
No, I agree. That's a fair point. I mean, so are you saying that for only those companies that address COVID in some way in the commercial? So
yeah,
I think you just avoid it. That's in my opinion. Just don't.
Yeah,
just make a funny commercial like
right.
The monkey dancing for E-Trade. That was a funny commercial.
Would you do puppy monkey COVID? Or
I wouldn't do anything COVID related. Nothing.
Donkey barrel COVID.
Unless it's
Doritos
vaccine
commercial.
awareness. If you want to do vaccine awareness, save $5 million, which to Anheuser-Busch is like a couple pennies.
Yeah, they are.
Just make the commercial about vaccine awareness.
Do your research on InBev.
Then you're getting a message out to fucking everybody.
They are no longer allowed to buy companies in the United States anymore.
Oh.
They're
like
tamped out antitrust. Yeah.
Yeah.
So InBev is, but they can keep what they have.
That's good.
Massive company, but
massive.
Yeah,
that's I don't know. I just don't make commercials about COVID.
Yeah, everyone's sick of COVID. I avoid it at all costs. I don't even listen to the news. I don't read any news about it because I'm so just sick and tired of hearing about it. So I definitely, I don't want to watch TV shows about it. I don't want to watch movies about it. I don't want to learn any more about it. I just want to not deal with it.
And I think that's a sentiment shared by all across the, we don't
across the world. Yeah.
I'm saying by us. Like I don't click on banners or anything. I couldn't tell you numbers.
Yeah, I don't listen to any of it. I don't track any of it. I don't care. I should care about data, but that's one data set that I don't care about one bit. Not one fucking bit.
On a later note, what news did you said you had a piece of
Yes. Speaking of data and stats are rolling in from the year of 2020.
Look at that segue.
Yes.
Everyone.
So the headline that I scrolled across was the increase in sales of non-alcoholic beer. In the year 2020, it increased by 38%.
Whoa.
Shit, that's a huge amount.
I just wanted to throw that out there as a topic of discussion. Why? I mean, obviously there's, one big answer as to why non-alcoholic beer went up in 2020. People are sitting at home drinking, and maybe they're like, maybe I'm getting too drunk, but I still want to drink beer.
Yeah, maybe.
That's where I feel safer becoming intoxicated. So I saw one non-alcoholic commercial, and it was O'Doul's, and it was the father-son racer F1 open wheel. Nico. But that was the only one. It was just O'Doul's. So that's what I bring to the table right now is the only awareness I saw in marketing for specific non-alcoholic beer was that O'Doul's commercial.
I haven't seen any non-alcoholic advertising.
Yeah, no, me either. But at Arrow, there's a growing shelf of non-alcoholic craft beer.
Really?
Yeah. Lots of it.
Never even heard of that.
I don't have any, notable names for you. They are all big brewers. The same ones who are making the low-cal IPAs are making non-alcoholic IPAs or whatever, craft beer in general.
Huh.
Lagers, ales.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there's a few new ones from the big guys, too, I believe. And I think that, seltzer is already non-alcoholic, but,
That's just seltzer.
I think the companies that make the alcoholic ones are starting to get into that, too. Like, we make this seltzer beer. We're also making non-alcoholic, just regular LaCroix or whatever.
Non-alcoholic bourbon barrel stout.
Non-alcoholic.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You could do that. I'm sure you could.
Yeah, barrel-aged seltzer.
Barrel-aged. If someone comes in something like that poured like
coming.
motor oil and they're just like, and you find out at the end of the night it's a 0.
Yeah.
I feel cheated.
That'd be awful. Like taking 400 calories of non-alcoholic beer? That'd suck.
You got to work through it.
Like, shit, I'd rather just drink a milkshake.
You expect when you drink that beer that at the end of it, you're going to know that you drank that beer.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to have some sort of lingering love.
It's coming. Someone's working on it right now.
That's it. 38%. That's one of the biggest numbers that we've talked about. Like growth.
I thought that was just
that's
insane.
a big number. I mean, I know it's up for like if only one non-alcoholic beer was consumed, that's still a huge percentage.
Yeah.
That means 38.
As kids, we used to have like O'Doul's in the house and O'Doul's and what did my what else was
Uh-oh. Is that the missing one?
No, that's not the missing one.
Oh.
So our first beer today is going to be the last of the 4 that Chuggalo Dave provided me back in August. Let me check when it was canned. He gave it to me in, it was maybe late July. Because this is canned on the 20th of July. So it's the 255 Amber Ale from Waconia Brewing Company, Waconia in beautiful Minnesota. We did 2 previous Waconia, so I'm not going to get too much into the history, but on episode 99 and episode 112, Dave gave me 4 crowlers. I don't know where one crowler went, so this is going to be the 3rd of 4, and I've lived in the house for 6 months, and we still haven't found the crowler, so I think somebody stole it. I'm going to guess it was somebody under the height of 3'1", and not my children. I'm not suggesting that. So anyways, 255 Amber Ale, and again, it comes in a crowler and 5.8%, and I will pour, and I will give you guys the opportunity to talk. So this is brought to you by Chuggalo Dave.
Chuggalo Dave.
And I'm just going to pour yours like an asshole. I
That's
apologize.
Fine. That's all right.
Should have.
The foam's more aromatic.
So Dave, we're finally getting to your last beer.
Have more smell.
Does
more
have
scent.
more
aroma.
Smell. And
More
I will
smell.
put this in the middle, so feel free to help yourself, guys. But Waconia, the first one that we were able to enjoy was that Oreo or the cookie one. Mm-hmm. If you guys recall.
Oh, that was a nice one.
Episode 99. Yeah, we really liked that one. Chuggalo Dave, just reached out to me over the last month and said that they were making another special one again. I forget. And then we talked about sports. JT was involved in that conversation. Very pleasant exchange.
Yep.
But hopefully I'm giving you guys enough time to generate some thoughts.
What are his loyalties in football?
He's from Minnesota, so he's definitely a Vikings fan.
Okay. It seemed like he was making a big argument for the Packers.
He bleeds purple.
He was really into defending them, and I was like, I think he's a Packers fan.
I wouldn't say he was
couldn't
defending
figure out
them.
whether he was arguing to.
I don't think
in their favor or not.
I don't think he was defending. I think he was. I think his point of view was, and he will definitely feel comfort. Is defending the rivalries in the division.
Oh, okay. So from his perspective, the Vikings-Packers rivalry is significant.
Is the Vikings and the Packers is the number one rivalry.
That's from his perspective, right?
Right, and then the Bears-Packers
And then okay.
and then the Lions. So for those teams, from those individuals, from those fandoms.
Yeah.
So
All right. Whatever. I mean, it's inarguable that the Bears-Packers is.
I'm not saying
One of the
I'm
oldest-
saying
just that the Bears
It's
suck,
it's a
you
team
know, so
where
it's like no
where
one cares.
one team is everyone's rival.
Oh yeah.
Main rival.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I believe
see.
you.
Yeah, like the Bears and the Vikings aren't rivals.
No, they are, but not as much. There's not as much fervor and hatred.
It's not a
Then
story.
every team in the
it's not a
division
story.
hates the Packers.
Yeah,
I think that'll shift. So my
everyone
argument
gears up.
was that shifts as the teams, as the scales tip. And I think that's common. But the Packers have been good for so long that I think it seems like our
Right.
whole lives.
We were the laughing stock for like the 70s.
Yeah,
and
so I
80s.
think if the scales tip in a different way,
Right.
everyone would be like, "Oh, fuck the Bears. We hate the Bears." We're the
It's
Super Bowl
generational.
rival." Yeah, it's a lot of it's generational. I think no one cares anymore, actually. Like, kids don't even fucking like football. The only reason I think, this is just a sidebar opinion, that football hangs on is, one, because it does give you some action, some pretty good plays and stuff. This weekend had some good games. But sports betting is going to carry football into the
6
the
minutes.
horizon.
6 minutes of action in a 60-minute game.
Yeah,
6
it's
minutes
just
where the
like-
ball is actually moving.
Yeah.
And kids just don't give a shit.
On average.
Like,
My
by and
kids
large.
walk away.
Yeah, my kids don't care at all about
I
football.
don't. When you guys were discussing the Super Bowl commercials and stuff earlier, I did not chime in, but I am now.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you the last Super Bowl that I watched.
Wow.
None of the Carolina
Yeah, I
ones,
mean, I think I watched.
No, I
for
watched
social
I watched the
aspect.
Carolina.
but it's been a while.
I think that was the last one.
Because, I mean, the Carolina fan base is a little bit smaller, where you've had Jake Delhomme over for dinner parties, multiple dinner parties.
Yeah, of course,
as
yeah.
Many Carolina families have. That's how, like, in
I
touch.
wish-
I mean,
Yeah, we had
I'm
that
saying
kind
I
of
used to watch
relationship.
football, fairly, not religiously, but I
Regularly.
Regularly. And I would watch the Super Bowls regardless of who was in it. And then I think after the Carolina Denver one, I can't. I don't even know who won last year. Who was the
Chiefs.
Chiefs,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it did take me a second to think about it though.
I can't tell you the one before. I definitely can't tell you the one from 3 years ago or
Yeah.
4 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
All I can tell you is
Already.
that Denver beat Carolina in the one that I watched, and I didn't even finish the game because I was so pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was it.
Yeah.
And I don't tune back in.
In the last 20 years, you could just say Brady every other,
Basically,
every
yeah.
other
Well,
year.
yeah,
It'd just be
I
like-
did the math.
This
He's
is
been
his
in
10th
10.
one.
He's been in half the Super Bowl since he started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14 conference championships in his time.
I mean, yeah. My opinion. We can have a whole thing about this. My opinion of Tom Brady has shifted. I think I always used to say I hated Tom Brady. I think I just hated the Patriots.
I'm with you.
You know,
and
like,
we're in the
I
minority.
saw him
we're
this
in the
weekend,
minority.
and I was like, this guy. He seems like a good guy.
And we're in the minority.
Yeah.
People hate
They
Tom.
still hate Tom Brady. I mean, this is like.
Facebook
Old-
was a very toxic
Old
place.
people won't get over how great football used to be, right? It sucks now, and these athletes who are like the greatest tuned athletes of any generation.
Oh, yeah, they're
how they
elite.
could never beat the Dick Butkus teams. They could destroy them. That's just my opinion, but it's probably
Oh yeah,
fact.
because they would
I
smoke
mean, like they're
cigarettes on the
so
fucking
yeah,
sideline.
exactly. They were smoking cigarettes.
They
on
weren't
the sideline.
athletes.
They weren't athletes. Yeah, exactly. These guys now are like insane athletes.
Speaking of, that's one of my favorite pictures, and it's awesome that you brought that up. So Chiefs Super Bowl, Len Dawson
Yeah.
during halftime, because they didn't go in the locker rooms, smoking a fucking Camel,
Yeah.
probably unfiltered,
Mm-hmm.
and just right there on this, Super Bowl one, first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was back when cigarettes weren't even addictive.
Yeah, no.
Right. Yeah, they weren't. Yeah.
Quit
Yeah,
anytime
they
you
didn't.
wanted.
They didn't add the 87 chemicals in. They only had 4 in them, and they were probably rolled with love.
They were rolled with
Yeah.
love.
That's
By
true.
technical experts. I don't even remember what my point was going to be.
But that's
Tom Brady
that's-
is-
But Tom
cool,
Brady,
dude.
I think, Tom. So the way that people talk about the old school football, I used to watch, Bart Starr or whatever quarterback was good back then. It's like, that's how, if football wasn't just about betting now, which it is, we would be like, I was around for Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Like, these two guys, we watched them play. They were great. Tom Brady's fucking amazing. Like, he's got all these rings. And he's so good. Not to take away from the other quarterbacks,
Yeah.
but I'm learning to not hate him. That's what I'm saying. I'll always hate Aaron Rodgers.
I think
He's a
Tom
good
Brady's
quarterback, though. I'll
incredibly.
admit that.
I think Tom Brady's the smartest player to ever play. I think he's just incredibly smart and has that quick wit to play.
Yeah.
I think he's a good athlete.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a great athlete.
Oh yeah, I won't make an argument that a quarterback's a great athlete,
He's just extremely smart.
but at his position,
Yeah.
I mean, has there been better?
No.
I don't know. Probably not.
I mean,
He's got a lot of rings.
by any measurement, he beats everyone, right? Is there
Oh,
any
I don't know.
measurement?
I don't know. I think doesn't Drew Brees have a few records? I don't know. I don't know anything about football records.
I don't either.
But Tom Brady. He's coming on the show. He told me. So stay tuned for that. Listen every week just in case.
TB 43.
TB 43? Oh yeah, that's his age, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he is 43. Because Drew Brees was 42.
Can't even imagine.
Or is 42.
Can't even imagine.
Yeah. Wait, you can't imagine what? Being 42?
Like me, even
Or-
like running around, throwing a football when I'm 43. Because I'm not even close.
I
And
see,
I'm
that's
like,
where,
good,
you know,
my body's falling apart.
You guys think Tom Brady's a good guy. I think he's a fucking weirdo. Like, I don't...
Oh yeah, I know his yeah.
He's super... I think he's weird. I don't
He
think
is
he's a
he
good
is-
guy.
You don't think he's a good guy?
No, I think he's like
Oh, okay.
disconnected from humanity. I don't even think he's human. You know,
One of the lizard people?
yeah, exactly.
Those are,
I think
all
he's
the
a-
mole people. Maybe
I just think
part of
he's
that.
just operates on a different plane.
Yeah,
He's
he's a little weird. Yeah, his diet's weird from what I hear.
It is.
His exercise is weird.
all of it is weird.
Pays
It's
attention
just
to
not
his macros and has
quite
people.
human.
Yeah, I mean, when
coach
you
him.
can pay people
Full
to do
staff.
that, sure. Yeah, maybe he's
What was it?
disconnected.
It was a few years ago that he ate his first fucking strawberry or raspberry.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked up.
That's pretty crazy.
Come on.
Seeing as he went to Michigan. And where is he from? California. I heard on the radio this morning that the high school he went to produced like insane athletes. Barry Bonds, Tom Brady, somebody that is in the NFL Hall of Fame already.
Bald Brian. Bald Brian went to the same high school. I know
Bob
you.
Bryan, who's that?
The Ribber on the Adam Carolla show.
Oh, okay.
I think
He went to the same high school as Tom Brady.
Yeah, he was a year behind.
I think for football and sports in general to resonate with the younger crowds and for the older people, I think steroids should be legalized.
Yeah.
And we should really juice them
It
up.
should just be violent.
Like max. Like, I think some of them should die occasionally for too much.
Yeah.
Like, really push the fucking limits of how much we can alter a human for our entertainment.
Like Hellboy. Are you familiar with the German arm wrestler? So he wrestles. He wrestles
I'm
like
interested
at
now.
140-pound weight class, but he's got the arm of like a 330-pound.
Awesome.
Just it's distorted.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
he's lanky like me, but this is
But he's
just
he's
one
doing
arm.
the Sylvester
It's
Stallone
massive.
workout. now.
Over the
top.
top.
Big
yeah.
rig, yeah.
Massive.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, look up German Hellboy.
All right, German Hellboy.
It is-
I'll look that up later.
It is body dysmorphia like max. Like
so cool.
It is cool.
I bet it's 100-pound difference that he can curl between one arm and the
Oh,
other.
I'm sure.
It's easy.
100-pound.
I would like it's massive.
Oh yeah, I mean if he's a professional arm wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean to
Yeah.
me, just
German
curling
Hellboy.
100 pounds is crazy. But he's got a 100-pound difference probably.
I bet.
Which I would say that's probably a decent guess.
But thoughts on this beer?
Oh yeah, there's beer.
Yeah, we're
The
drinking some beer.
255. I don't know the significance of that, so Chuggalo Dave, you're gonna have to let us know. Hey, by the way, thank you for the social media outreach for Bottle Can Draft. So we had
Bottle
Chuggalo
Can
Mom respond, Chuggalo Ryan, I think Chuggalo Stev responded. So it's a smattering. No one preferred can. It was either bottle or draft as number
good.
one.
Good to know. So their address is 255 West Main Street,
Look at that, figuring
Waconia,
out. Wow.
Minnesota. So that's probably the 255.
It's pretty much unknowable. Well, we don't know if
It
that's
was
why the
unknowable.
2.5.
Yeah.
5.
I'll go. I'm not gonna. I don't think I need to do the can art on this
You've
one.
you've
We've
done it before.
so we're good.
99, 112. It's the same can
Yeah,
because
5.8%.
it's a crawler straight from the brewery. Thank you again, Juggalo Dave.
So yeah, that's the can art. It is sponsored by Chuggalo Dave. So sorry that I gypped you on the can art, but we've done it, and
Yep.
you probably sponsored it back then. I think we were doing that whole thing
For sure.
back then. It has a good. It did have a stronger aroma when the foam was on top. I actually
Yeah.
think that's true. I
I
never
poured it
actually
like an
tested
asshole.
that, but now I think it's actually a thing. It's a fact. Beer science. I thought it had a real caramely smell, but I don't taste that at all. This kind of has that charred malt flavor too. Not obviously like last week. Last week we had a real dark beer. It got us in the conversation talking about burned beans and stuff. This one doesn't have that.
If you want something really smoky, I've got a bottle of triple smoked booze up there that is just
I'm sure, yeah. I'm
straight
good right now.
ash.
I'd love
That's
to
like
take
drinking
your-
scotch. That
Oh, yeah.
grosses me out.
It's just inland Scotland, not coastal, just super peaty, just
Yeah.
unpalatable.
Scotch,
Unpalatable.
yeah, scotch was one and done for me.
Coastal, fine, not the Highlands. Oh, I'm not man enough.
Yep, I can't taste the difference between them. So I don't get into scotch either. Too fiery.
Yeah, it just tastes like
Just
a campfire.
yeah. So
It tastes like it and it burns.
So you had that whole thing with bourbon. I tried with scotch.
There's some great
I just
Lafroigs.
can't get the differences, and I think if I did enough of it, I can probably just
Oh,
like
yeah,
the beer,
yeah, anything.
But I
Right.
don't. I just didn't have the patience for it.
Right.
I
Or
also
the
never
money. I mean,
enjoyed
shit.
it. I
Fuck,
just
scotch
never
is
enjoyed
expensive
it.
as shit. So this beer, man, I can't differentiate any this from many other beers I've had. It's good. It's definitely drinkable. I don't find it to have any highlightable attributes. But it's a good amber ale. And I crushed it. I had a second cup and crushed that one too. So it's very refreshing. Man, what's my score here? That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to stall while I get a score. I'm going to go 375. 375. Thanks, Dave.
Yes. Thanks, Dave. This is a delicious amber ale. I love it. It is very nondescript.
Nondescript, yeah.
But it is crushable. I do get a kind of caramelly
Good.
flavor to it. A little bit of savoriness to it. But it is just great. The smell of it initially turned me off. I was like, I don't know about this. It did not smell good to me. But then it was a complete 180 on the taste of it, which is the most important factor. And it's just a very delicious amber ale. I can't really think of another amber ale that I would prefer over this. This is a very good one. So I give this a 4.0. It's, I don't know if, well, in my opinion, there's no way to elevate this to a 5.
It's tough to get
Right,
like
yeah.
this
a
is-
What could you
standard.
do?
A
I don't know.
standard.
Yeah.
It's a good standard.
But this is as high as I can give an amber ale that isn't, bringing some sort of additional factor to push it up further. If it's just an amber ale compared to other amber ales, then it's at the top of that list. It's delicious.
This is the pinnacle.
Yep, you made it.
She did it.
So the beauty with this, and I off the top rope, I'm right there with Cobra at a 4.0. This is a full balanced. I think the word that maybe you were looking for.
Balanced, great, yeah.
And well-rounded. There's nothing off-putting about it, with the exception of potentially the nose. But this is if you're an amber ale drinker, I would challenge you to find something that's better than this.
Yeah.
So now I can see why Dave brought this, because this is a beer that could transcend generations. This is something that an old swill drinker could have, someone in the dad's generation, so like Chuggalo Dave could have, and somebody in our generation where everyone could have this beer. This is going to be one, and Chuggalo Dave, we can have a conversation about this. I would be proud to have this as a keg at the 27th, and comment, shoot me a message if you agree with that. That's my old squadron where you have 70-year-olds drinking and you have 20-year-olds drinking. I think this beer would be appreciated by everyone there. Craft beer drinkers and swill drinkers alike.
Yeah.
I think this transcends, and that's a powerful characteristic to have a beer that's just going to be enjoyed by the masses.
Yeah.
It does have, like similar qualities to like an ancient ale.
Yeah.
To some of the older ancient ales. And the thing that's kind of fascinating about this beer is that you said it was canned July 20th, and the drink of it finishes exceedingly clean, considering it's been sitting
Yeah, it's been
for
sitting
many
for 6
months.
Cellared in my fridge.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I think
it's
that
approachable, which is what it says on the can.
Approachable.
I think that
Approachable beer for approachable people.
I think that's a characteristic, and whatever reason that we just finally got to it now, Chuggalo Dave, I think it didn't hinder it at all. It maybe boosted it because here we are having a beer that was canned in July, probably brewed a month or so before, and here we are in late January, and it's just as delicious. I don't think we tasted anything that was off-putting. But on to the second beer. So this is a beer that I bought, and it's in conjunction. So this came from Microphone Brewing, but it's canned by Untitled Art. So Untitled Art, we've done episode 29, 77, 92, 93, and 95. So Untitled
Heavy
Art...
hitters.
Heavy hitters.
Untitled Art is one of those that we've been up there because they have, it's not so much their can art, because JT will get into that more because the name of the artist is on the can. It's what they put into the beer and what the recipes that go to Untitled Art. And it's just
Made with love.
off the hizzy. It's made with love.
And
this one is of no... this will take second place to no one as far as creativity. So this is a triple berry hazelnut smoothie stout. Holy fuck! What a bunch!
There's
so
so
this
much going on there.
Don't overpromise.
So
that's a
don't
huge
tell me that.
overpromise.
So this is-
That's a great point.
So
Jeez.
this is a 12-ounce can. Comes in at 10%, and we're gonna go with the crack. 3, 2, 1.
Talk about a departure, going from just like a very classic Americana amber ale
I had
to the most triple berry
A
hazelnut.
a cacophony
Smoothie.
of things.
Smell it first.
What?
I think it's delivering in the smell.
100% coffee, hazelnut coffee.
Yeah.
So like hazelnut coffee creamer, and so
I can smell that.
that's how you deliver on the nose there, because it's not hazelnut coffee, it's the creamer, which is more pungent and carries more of that fragrance.
Creamer. Creamer makes me sick now. Like I used to drink it and then I stopped, and now like when I have it in coffee, it's like gross.
So I'm not gonna cover too much on Microphone or again Untitled Art, because we've done both of them before, but I just was given, because there's a lot to digest here, so I was just really I had a battle, and while you guys are enjoying or imbibing this, I had a battle because I knew I wanted to do Dave's this week, but I've looked at the cellar and there's a couple of other beers that I've had in the fridge for a while that I'm like, this is earmarked. We're gonna do this, and this is one just from the pure conversation, and again the cacophony of berry, hazelnut, a smoothie, all in a stout.
Jeez.
Not an IPA where you can hide more things because of the hops. So, with IPA you're adding more. With a stout, you're just taking what's there and you're changing the chemical composition of it with the stout. So,
Smoothie stout. Jeez.
I'm done tap dancing.
Yep.
Hopefully, JT's almost done. He's asking for a second can.
10%.
So
This beer is big.
Yeah, it's a baller.
It is a baller.
Would you say
It's Drake.
Is it bigger than a banana?
It's Drake.
It's Drake in a
It
can.
transcends.
Is
different
it
cultures.
bigger than a banana?
It is. It's bigger than a peeled banana.
A peeled banana. That's
Yeah,
that's
but not
important.
an unpeeled
It's an important
banana.
because it adds a lot.
It's an important distinction. All right. I don't know if you wanted to go first this time.
No, it's
Okay.
whatever you want to do.
So this is the can. So this is your beer. You bought this.
I bought this.
All right. So we're still sponsored by Dave.
At least that's what I tell them at the store when I walk out with a.
I bought this.
I bought this.
I bought this.
Did it come
remember
from
I bought
Halls?
this already.
Did it come from Halls?
Of course, it came from
Oh,
Halls.
then you
See?
bought it. Yeah, you gotta pay.
Do you shop anywhere else for beer now?
Discount. 2 places I've been in like the last 2 months. Discount Liquor in Wisconsin and Halls.
Wow.
So I have a bunch of Discount Liquor stuff.
Is Halls now giving Belmont a run?
Oh, I think Belmont's over.
I why would I go to Belmont now when
Right.
Because Belmont has a ton of shelf turds.
Right.
Yeah.
They've
They're
all
dusty.
yeah.
They
Yes.
don't even dust anymore.
Yeah.
They're just fucking dusty.
Well,
beers.
I haven't been there since I could wear shorts
I don't know
outside.
if you guys on the YouTube can see this.
Do you want me
There's a
here?
lot of detail
I got
here.
an extra light.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Because it's
There's
high-
a ton
high-
of-
high
oh,
production.
Much better. There's a lot of detail here. You'll hear me go over it. I think there's levels to this artwork. This artwork's done by Leo Salazar. Not sure where he's out of, or if he's like working for a studio, or he's an independent guy, or what.
It's an artist.
He is an artist. There's
course
no
he's
doubt about
independent.
that.
He doesn't work for like an artist company.
There's like art studios out there.
Well, there's
that, like,
artists,
pump out
United
art.
Artists.
United Artists.
Those are
It's
sellouts.
a film studio.
Untitled Art.
Untitled Art, same.
Okay, art. They pimp art.
United Airlines.
That's another one.
Exactly.
Same
United
artist.
Airlines art. It's only art of planes.
Urinary analysis, UA.
That's art. There's an art to that.
Watching another man's wang.
Mm-hmm. That's how it's done. So Leo Salazar.
Sometimes you have to poke it to make
this.
sure it's not the rubber one.
So I don't know if this was originally a painting or if this was always digital art. I don't know how you can't scan a painting. You'll fuck it up. And you bend the canvas and the paint starts chipping off and shit.
I'm just gonna photocopy
Can't
the
scan
Mona
it.
Lisa.
Maybe just take
LiDAR.
a picture. I don't know.
LiDAR.
LiDAR on a painting. It'll totally capture all of it.
That's new age art.
That is new age art. I think we
I just
had a
copyrighted
can
that.
that we
I just
compared to
copyrighted
LiDAR.
You're the one that talks about cans. I purposely
Oh no,
don't talk about
Katie
cans.
and I had. It was a Branch and Bone beer. They had like a LiDAR can. We talked about it. So there's a couple layers to this art. One, it looks like a painting on canvas. You can see the brush strokes.
A couple layers in the can.
There's several layers in the can. I'll get to that too. You can see the brush strokes, but if you kind of think about it more in a realist kind of thing perspective, the background looks like you're zoomed in to a microscopic level.
That's 100%. It's a
Like
microscope.
when they zoom into like a speck of dust and it looks all rigid and weird and shit. And then it looks like the red and the blue look like little sperm flying towards or swimming towards black eggs.
I'm glad you said
That's
sperm.
It's
just
100%.
what I think. And
I think I
because
could
of the
do the can or
background,
boner segment.
yeah, you could totally. Because the background looks like a microscopic kind of surface.
The fact that all three
That
of us were
makes
thinking
it-
of sperm.
Oh yeah, we're always thinking of sperm.
Well,
Together.
I'm not gonna go. My thoughts don't always go to sperm.
Well, they should.
Sometimes
You're
they go
missing
to,
out on a lot.
Sometimes
of
they go to
thoughts.
sandwiches.
Oh, sandwiches are good.
I do love
Now I'm
sandwiches.
thinking about sandwiches.
Yeah.
I could go for a sandwich right now.
But it does. I think that a lot of times we get untitled art, and I can't find the connection between the name of the beer and the art. This one has a little bit more. The triple berry, hazelnut. The colors do kind of in my head. If I think, what are the colors of a triple berry hazelnut stout? They're like dark red, blue, black, those kind of colors. Maybe some more brown. There's no brown in here. But you got kind of that maroonish red in the background. So I think it's the color of a triple berry hazelnut stout is pretty well captured here. All right, so that's the Can Art Boner segment brought to you by Dave. Thanks, Dave. Triple berry hazelnut stout, 10%. You can taste every bit of that 10%.
You can?
Yeah, I
get
can.
the- you get
I
the
think
10?
on the
After
like,
everything else, you can taste it. This is like a buffet.
So on the tongue, there's one thing. Then when you swallow, that's the alcohol, and then on the breath out, there's even another taste.
Really?
So the berry's on the front, the alcohol is in the swallow, and the breath is the hazelnut. Like that's what I honestly didn't think.
That's
I
a
thought
good-
it would be a mishmash of bullshit.
I like
and
the
it would
breakdown.
just be like you said, what's the word? Amalgamation of just one flavor
I've never said that.
that you can't pick apart. But this, I think you can pick it apart. I think that this beer did a good job picking it apart. Now, is it good? That's a different question. I think this beer is a one-off. I don't prefer the flavor of the triple berry in particular. I think a hazelnut stout would probably be a win. I think what you did with that was really good. I hesitate to say it because I feel like you guys are going to disagree, but I think if you brought the alcohol content down, maybe the triple berry and hazelnut would mix better. But I don't actually know because I've never had a triple berry hazelnut with less alcohol than 10%. I don't think this is my preferred type of beer, but I do think that they did a spectacular job. I had my doubts. As far as a one-off beer, man, it's hard to say. Let me take one more sip. I'm going between two scores, and none of them are going to represent the fact that I said it's not my preferred beer. Because I think that they...
Wait a second, your comments aren't going to align to your score?
They're not.
Where is JT? What have you done with him?
They did exactly what we all thought they wouldn't do. They made a beer that delivered at least the flavors that they advertised. The only thing I don't taste is the stout. I taste smoothie, I taste triple berry, I taste hazelnut. I don't taste stout.
Interesting.
Like there's a stout flavor. I think we can agree.
I'm prepared to disagree with you.
Okay, well,
you just said there's a stout flavor though.
Yeah, there's a stout flavor that exists. That I taste in stouts.
But it's missing in this.
But I think that this has everything but that.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I want that. I actually prefer not to taste that typical stout flavor. Maybe that's just the stouts I'm drinking. I don't know. 4 or 5.
Wow! Wow! I can't get it. And then it just comes.
They delivered it.
4 or 5.
They delivered a good beer. I just don't think it's a good beer that I choose again, because I think the flavors just don't hit me. Like they're not flavors I typically want.
I wish I'd have been.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to describe it. All I'm saying is they did a good job. I think they did a good job. I think that the beer delivers what they're promising, and it has. There's someone out there who's going to love this beer and probably give it a 5. This is probably the berry version of the lava cake beer. But personally, it's not my top beer.
But a 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
4 or 5. Wow.
Yeah.
So
if I found $100 on the ground, I would have never been able to pick that. He's going to hit us with a 4 or 5.
No,
they
never.
actually do okay.
So let's see. So I'll disagree with you.
Yeah.
On the stout flavor. I'm gonna swap with you.
All right, swap.
So I get the stout flavor, but I don't get the smoothiness.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like.
I get the berry. I get the hazelnut, and I loved your comment on they're onto something with the hazelnut stout. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Someone please.
Yeah, do that.
Just deliver just a hazelnut stout, because that would be a home run. Hazelnut coffee is one of my absolute favorite go-tos.
There's a hazelnut brown ale. Oh, I'll find it for you.
Yeah, please do.
It's a home run hazelnut beer.
Yeah, hazelnut beer, that sounds fantastic to me. Hazelnut stout sounds even better because stouts inherently go hand in hand with the coffee.
Yeah.
The triple berry, they do deliver that. Mm-hmm. Can I drill down and identify the strawberry and the raspberry and the blueberry? No, I cannot. But the berry flavor is, man, it really does kind of sock you in the mouth. You cannot overlook that. Cocoa nibs, there's a little bit of that. Milk sugar, I think, is where they went off base because it is overly sweet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I think that's what's giving it that smoothiness.
I don't like it.
I mean, maybe one time I do actually think they did it right.
I mean, maybe that's how they account for the smoothie.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, at least on my opinion, it doesn't translate to smoothie. For me, it just translates to overly sweet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't add more sugar when you're already putting in 3 different berry concentrates. Don't add more sugar. That sounds crazy. It is a one-off beer. They did deliver on everything, which is wild to me.
Yeah, it's wild.
It is crazy
because it's more like a tip of the cap that you achieved it, that you did what you said you were going to do, because this is probably the first time it's ever been done on the podcast where they advertise so much and then they deliver it. But it is one-off. I don't care for it as much as you do. I mean, I know it's a one-off for you, but you gave it a 4.5.
Yeah.
This is probably like a 3.75 for me. It's very neat. It's a ton of fun to have one with someone and talk about it and be like, wow, this is crazy. This is weird. Great conversation. A lot of fun. 10%. I do disagree with you on the booze. I don't get any of the booze.
Really? Wow.
I don't get any of the booze anywhere. I don't get it. Normally, I'll get booze on the exhale, right?
On the finish.
Yeah. I don't get that at all. It's just, it actually is sort of a clean finish to me. So, that's it. 3.75. It's a really fucking neat beer.
It is.
So here's the beauty, and kind of in a microcosm, the essence of this podcast. We're all in agreement on 90% of this, but we're going to be way off on scores. Off the top rope, I give this a 3.25. It delivers on everything, as my esteemed colleagues have said. This is beyond a one-off. Like, it is a pure conversation beer. I'm glad that I did this beer this week as the second beer, because I feel like any beer that follows this, your palate is wrecked. Because either
Absolutely.
you're gonna get berry, you're gonna get just the stout lingering. The hazelnut is still there, just as I kind of chew it in my mouth. It's an oddity in that, like Cobra was saying, that you can discern everything. So it's a very ambitious beer, and it succeeded in all those. I can discern everything. Triple berry, it tastes like when you go to that mom and pop diner and they have the
Purple. I was wondering what color it was.
the glass syrup containers.
Ish.
I get the smoothie. Smoothie's more of a texture, accompanied by like a milk or some sort of binding agent, and I get this. It's definitely a stout. There's no thinking that it's another type of beer. I just, besides the conversation, I think I'm enjoying it more because of the conversation. Like, if I was just having this and I was just, sitting upstairs with the family or whatever, I don't think I would enjoy it as much. I love that it's peaked, because we're all in agreement that we enjoy that a beer is finally promised a lot and finally delivered on everything.
Hats off.
Right. Yeah,
That's
you
great.
promise a
So
million things.
so
and you get-
Microphone and Untitled Art, Untitled just the passive brewer in this situation. It's fantastic. I can't imagine the brewing process for this. It's got to be complicated as all shit, because
Can you imagine developing this beer as Microphone?
Yeah.
And then saying, "Here's my recipe.
you brew it.
You brew it on a massive scale
Yeah.
Yeah.
to my specifications," and then it works.
I like
As
to
complicated
imagine
as
that
this is.
microphone brewed it and then put it into one of those concrete spinner trucks and drove it over and they canned it there. Because it says canned at Untitled Art.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't know how the hell
just-
thing. Would they say canned versus brewed? Have we
Well,
okay, brewed, canned.
You're
Okay,
not
I didn't see
feeling
that
the
originally,
fact
my
that
bad.
you're just packaging
brewed
it.
plus canned. Yeah, that's my.
So I
didn't see
challenge that we all agree that this beer delivered.
Yeah, you're right. They're
It's-
like, hey, make this shit.
It's fantastic
Yeah,
that
that's crazy.
we're off so much, and that just it's something to remember, that our points, they're
You know what this
Arbi-
is? I'm sorry.
no
This
continue.
is the group project in college. And Untitled Art is the guy who did all the work and was like,
You're
fuck,
right.
I want the A. I'm doing so well, I can't fail.
Yeah.
And this microphone guy, he just gave me the outline of a website he once Googled 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
This-
that's what happened here.
Exactly.
This is a
agree.
325 that I would buy again, because I want to see what other people
Yeah.
would think.
Yeah, it would be neat to distribute at a
Gathering.
together. Yeah, absolutely.
And just be like, let me know what you think. I want. So, I think Stev has had this one.
Do you think
I
it's
could check really
overly
quick.
sweet or what? Do you think it's?
No, because
Really?
we have some other stuff that.
It's just I know that JT you have a sweet tooth.
Mm-hmm.
You have more of a sweet tooth. I'm a more of a savory individual.
100%.
You're savory
100%.
as well, and I just feel like it's it's unbalanced because it's overly sweet.
Yeah, see, I feel like all the milk sugar beers we've had have been too sweet, except this one.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
I think this one balanced it out.
Stev hasn't had this one. I'd be curious on, because I like, there's been a lot of beers I've had lately that Stev has had in front of me for like the ones I've bought here in Ohio. This is one because he's a dark guy. Mm-hmm. This is going to be one. Stev, because I know you're listening, Triple Berry Hazelnut Smoothie Stout. It's available in the area. I know I bought it in the area. So
It's at Halls.
it's at Halls, yeah. It's on its way to work.
It might still be.
It's also on Untapped. It's considered it's classified as a double pastry. I would throw it delivered on the pastry.
Double paste. That's a
Double
fucking.
pastry.
That's a wait.
I was thinking the same thing. Like,
That's a beer classification.
You know,
now?
if we don't
Stout
like pastry,
did I miss
just add
that?
double to it. Triple, fuck it.
Imperial.
Let's go with
it's
quadruple.
a stout imperial double pastry.
It's
so
a quad pastry.
the imperial is the alcohol
Super
content.
Imperial.
Super Imperial drywall.
Drywall.
Super Imperial.
Gypsum.
Drywall.
Gypsum beer.
Just throw in all sorts.
Yeah.
Quarter
Fresh
inch.
bee honeycomb.
Quarter inch. 4 kilometer.
Yeah. Sawdust.
It's a dessert beer.
Sugar.
100%.
Pastry.
It is a dessert beer. 100%. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah, one time I went to
there's
Brazilian steakhouse.
Jeez.
And they gave me
I always wanted to go to a Brazilian
Irish.
I want to go
coffee.
to a Brazilian steakhouse. Thanks for making that up.
Yeah.
For bringing
No,
it up.
I did. I went to
all
Texas
the
State
bread.
Brazil in downtown Chicago, and I sat next to. This is crazy. At
Jay
the time,
Cutler.
I didn't. He wasn't a wrestler at the time, but it's the lawyer for WWE who was on I Love New York. What was that guy's name? What was his name?
What are you
So
fucking
Katie
talking
and I
about?
went to Brazilian Steakhouse, and we sat next to.
I want to go to a Brazilian
What's
steakhouse
the
sometime.
lawyer's name
Me
on
too.
WWE? It was.
It's been a long time. The storylines now. You know that WWE went to Peacock now, right?
I heard that. I didn't know for sure.
We can talk about that
Yeah,
off.
we'll talk about it offline. But anyway,
Offline.
so we sat next to this guy, and he was on I Love New York, which was a VH1 show, and that's the only reason I knew him at the time. Because when you're in the military, and you have AFN, sometimes you and your comrades watch some stupid shit that you'd never watch on your own.
You
but
only
you're
have
like,
a handful of
But
channels to
you're
choose
like, this
from.
is fun because it's an experience, just like this beer. It's an experience with other people.
Yeah.
If you're drinking it by yourself, it's not as fun. Same thing. Well, he was on that show, and we sat next to him at Texas State Brazil. Well, for dessert, they give you a dessert drink, and it was Irish coffee.
Oh.
And I would prefer this over that. It wasn't done well. Maybe there's a better Irish coffee, but that was the first and last one I ever had.
There's a lot of artistic
'Cause I just didn't like
interpretation
it.
to Irish coffee.
I was
Sure.
not into it. I don't think they did a good job. And why would you give me an Irish coffee at a Brazilian steakhouse?
I don't know.
That makes no sense.
It doesn't make
I
sense.
just want to go to a Brazilian.
But a Brazilian steakhouse is
Yeah,
amazing.
makes sense to me.
So
Yeah,
Groupon does do
Oh, thanks, buddy. Is it-
Texas State Brazil, but the Cincinnati one I think closed down.
You think so?
No.
I think it did.
You think
The
so?
Texas
Get outta
State
here.
Brazil. I think
Really?
it did because Katie and I tried to go. And
Oh, really? You and Katie tried to
I
go?
think
Yeah,
it's
to
closed
the-
permanently.
to the Fogo
Oh.
de Chao down.
Fogo de Chao. I was looking at Texas State Brazil. Fogo de Chao's
What
Brazil.
do you keep saying? Texas
Day Brazil. It's literally a Brazilian steakhouse. I don't know how you haven't heard of this place. It's
Never heard of it.
incredible.
Texas like the state. Day.
Day of, Spanish for of, Brazil. Texas of Brazil. Texas Day Brazil. It's
No,
a
because the other
legitimate
one was-
place. There's one in downtown
I'm
Chicago.
not
Look it
saying
up. It's
not
amazing.
legitimate. I just don't. I've never heard of it. I'm not-
Great steak.
I'm not-
Great Brazilian steakhouse.
I love how defensive JT always is. He's like, it's a real place.
You guys
okay?"
are always coming after me for like no reason.
But I'm not
It's like,
coming after him.
always.
what is Texas Day Brazil? Fogo de Chao. Okay. Day? Oh, what? You say of what? Fogo of Chao? What does that mean? I don't know.
You were saying it so fast. I was trying to.
Yeah, I thought
Good
you guys had
time.
heard of it. I thought
I've
literally
never heard of
everyone
it.
in the world knew what Texas Day Brazil
All-
was.
the
I thought
only-
that was the main
You're talking
Brazilian steakhouse.
fastest podcast.
The
I'm not-
only.
we
I
haven't
thought
we
that
haven't
was the main
attacked
one.
you in a long time, but
The only
there's
Brazilian steakhouse that I'm aware of are the ones that are advertised in Sky Mall, the Fuego del whatever
Oh,
the
yeah, I
fuck it
don't know.
is.
Fogo de Chao. But
Fogo
there,
de Chao.
Fogo
there,
de Chao.
there is the other one that we didn't want to go to because it was like 40 minutes. It was between like the Cobra Ranch and where we were staying. Like we would have to go back up the hill. That was the only. There was another one.
There was?
Yeah.
I think that was it. Texas Day Brazil.
I
speak slower. Well, it was like you were like, "Oh, it closed," and you were like, "Oh, it closed," and I was like, "What's happening here? Like, why do you guys keep repeating each other? I don't understand what's happening."
But yeah, I definitely want to go to a Brazilian churrascaria.
So you haven't been to one? I feel
I've
like you
never
of all
been to
people would
one.
have been to one.
No,
I
I want to go one. Just a meat buffet.
It's just green and red card. You flip it over.
Right. That's
awesome.
like I feel like that's where I want to die.
Mm-hmm, probably.
That's right.
Like if you know like your terminal, and you feel like you're like, I think this is probably really it.
Yeah.
Like I'm really there.
Yeah.
Like take me to one of those places and let me go out.
Right.
In style. Yeah. Yeah. Just eating
It's
the
the way to
shit
go.
out of meat.
Yeah.
Until
See,
you
I
just
figured you guys have both been there and
never
like, there was
been.
something going
It's
on.
it's like
that I didn't.
in my mind. It's like
This conversation came up with Fogo because there was a huge disappointment when we found out it closed the Valentine's Day before we went down for the boat.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember
We were
that was
ribbing you
Fogo de
lightly.
Chao. Yeah, I remember. But there was a Texas Day Brazil that was
trying to
open.
hide.
That was open, and that's what Alex was telling us.
oh okay.
Who used to be a Chuckalo, maybe for like an episode, he was a Chuckalo.
But
Texas Day Brazil. There's one in Chicago. I believe there's one in Milwaukee.
In my mind, it's built up now to the point where it's a similar storyline to where before you go to your first strip club, you don't know what it is. You can only imagine, and you've got all these wild imaginations and stories in your head of what a strip club's going to be like.
yeah,
That's how those Brazilian steakhouses are to me. It's an imagination. Like, oh my god, this place is beautiful and delicious and I hope it's not the way that the strip clubs went because those were really disappointing.
It's different in that it actually is what you think it is.
Oh my god!
Like you're gonna sit down
Shut
and they're
up.
gonna continuously
You're making it worse.
bring you. They have these those stokes or skewers full of just meat, and there's different people walking around. At least the one I went to, the Texas Day Brazil. I don't know how Fogo de Chao
Texas State,
does.
Brazil.
I don't know how
Texas
Fogo
State,
de
Brazil.
Chao does it. Texas Day Brazil. They have people walking around. Each skewer has a different type of meat.
Yeah.
So when you see the one you want, you flip your card over to green, and they'll just come and cut meat onto your plate until you turn that card over and say, "I'm good."
Do you just eat meat?
Yeah, if you want.
So
But there's a sushi bar like off to the side. But why would you waste
I
time
don't
with that,
want
right?
sushi.
the gimmick is that I've heard because I haven't been there is like there's all this salad and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't eat that shit
There's-
because they want to
yeah.
fill you up on fucking
They give
leafy
you.
greens.
It's just like a China buffet. They'll give you all the bread and salad and other shit
Yeah.
you want.
You don't eat that. Wait till
Don't
the
eat
meat.
that. Wait till the meat comes.
Just
yeah.
all meat.
Stack that shit up.
And
on
it's
your
not
plate,
a
like,
wait.
if you wanna-
They're already walking around serving other people. So
Yeah.
you just flip that card over. You're eating like the second you sit down.
Damn.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's no ordering.
It's
or
magic like hibachi from like what I've heard, but even better
God.
because they're just walking around with it already pre-made.
Yeah, it's,
What a destination.
it's exactly what you.
That's why I wanted to go.
be.
That's why I pushed.
Yeah,
And then it closed. Fuck.
yeah, we'll get there. We still have a large pot of money from bowling.
That's true.
Well, we don't have pot money,
It's
JT.
still in the sock, unspent, untouched for months and months and months. Over almost a year now, hasn't been touched.
Has it made any interest?
I no, because
should've
I haven't
invested
touched
Should
it.
have invested. Yeah.
Well, you should have told me.
could've-
You
could've
guys
brought
had no
Tesla-
input when
you
I said,
could've-
"What should we do
you
with
could
this
have
money?"
bought a few shares of Tesla back then.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
you know, we could have probably bought a couple.
Yeah, thanks,
Tesla,
JT.
Neo. Could have bought a lot of
Neo,
Neo.
GME, great.
GameStop, which has been fantastic.
GameStop, boy, what a volatile stock that is.
Well,
Wow.
you
That-
heard why,
I love
right?
that story.
Well, I
Well,
love
you
the
bring it
story too. I do. Oh no, go ahead.
No, you're familiar. We're all familiar with the
Yeah,
story, so
we're
don't.
familiar with the story, and I feel like Chris was going to have some really insightful opinions because we've talked about this whole like
Please do.
retail, like
They're
the retail like explosion right from COVID.
The Robin Hooders are completely fucking Wall Street right
Yep.
No, Wall Street fucked themselves because this has
By-
all been
by
happening.
setting up the
this
auto
has
buyers?
all been happening for 100 years.
Yeah.
This they all it's big. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
But stock price being based on P&E would mean that we'd have 4 stock prices a year. All those little second fluctuations, they were driving that for 100 years. Now the Robin Hooders on Reddit figured it out,
Right.
and they're like fucking shit up. Okay.
YOLO.
YOLO. It's a good one to get into. That's gone up. It's gone up like 50%. I don't know where we are in the episode. I can't see the time that's this far away, but
we're ways in.
I had a game.
Hour 10, hour 15.
If you want to, otherwise we don't have to. We could play it some other time.
So I just have a question. We could save the game because the
we'll
game's
save the
probably
game.
going to take
Save
some
the
time.
game.
So I listened to a bunch of podcasts, and one podcast was talking about wines, and I want to see if this is an attributional distribution for a beer decision. So wine drinkers, when they buy, because wine has way more of a varying price point than beer does. Mm-hmm. I think we can agree. You can get a $4 bottle of wine. You can get a $200 bottle of wine. Most places you go. Mm-hmm. You can't get that with beer. It truncates very quickly once you get north of $20. When you go and you're just going to buy a beer that you're not going to sell her, that you're just going to, I'm buying a 6-pack, I'm buying...
For now.
Whatever, and I'm going to go home and consume this almost immediately. What's your price point at? Because with wine, it varies, much like the price point, and they brought this up on the podcast. Some people are $20. Some people are like, I'm not looking at bottles under 40 if I'm drinking it immediately.
Not looking at bottles under 40.
Under 40. Because they're not going to waste
because
their
you're
time.
Paying for
because they're going to go home and they want to have something. They want to have something that they're going to enjoy immediately. Mm. So there's a little more price point variance built in with wine. When it was made, et cetera, but vintage type, a lot more with wine. But with beer, does that same characteristic determine what you're going to buy when you go to the store? Like, if you're just going to go home and drink it immediately.
No.
Right. Okay.
No. Yeah. I don't care what the price point is.
What drives so in beer it's not a 1-for-1 relationship. What drives your interest when you're just going to buy 1 6-pack? Mm-hmm. You're going to drink some of it immediately when you get home. More than one.
There's 2 things that drive my trip to the store. One is time. And 2 is probably can art. Time. If it's got to be quick, I'm grabbing one I know.
Well, not quick, but it's going to be
something you enjoy. If I have unlimited time and I can read every can, I mean, it's the ingredients. It's something I haven't tried before. If it's $20 for a 4-pack, fine.
You will spend a half an hour just looking at beer?
Oh, I do all the time.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
Yeah, I go to Arrow and I read all the new cans I haven't seen before. Now that I've been there a few times, I can skip over some of them.
Yeah.
But I'll read every one.
Yeah. When I go to the store, when I go to the beer store or a store to shop specifically for beer, then I'm like you. I'll spend a good 20 or 30 minutes before I make a selection.
Wow. Just for one.
I'm overwhelmed.
I'm not saying for podcast
or anything. It's overwhelming. And I don't want to miss the one.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss the one.
Yeah.
It's always what I find
it's very interesting.
Helpful is talking. So I'll shop at Dorothy Lane Market for beer.
Yeah.
Because the people that work there are extremely knowledgeable. Kind of like at Halls.
Mm-hmm. They're there for a reason. They found their calling.
They know what's the latest and greatest. They know what's hard to find. They know what they have in stock. They just know everything. So
you definitely don't get that at BPS.
A wealth of knowledge that you walk in and at least speaking for myself, I walk in and I'm immediately overwhelmed. Even in Dorothy Lane Market, which doesn't have a huge beer section, it's combined with their wine section. Half of it's beer, half of it's wine.
Yeah.
And I walk in and I begin to look around. I'm like, oh my God, there's just so much can art. I'm distracted. I'm easily distracted, so I'm kind of scatterbrained looking around at everything, and then I kind of begin to get a feel of the flavor that I'm looking for. Am I in the mood for a sour? Am I in the mood for an IPA? Whatever, stout. And then I'll kind of begin to narrow it down, and then I'll talk to the people and see what's up.
Interesting.
But through all of that calculus of how I get you know, from this down to my selection, price is never there.
Is it when you're making your selection? Is it a lot like A Beautiful Mind, where there's a bunch of like algorithms stuff floating? You know, you're
Just
like
beer
taste,
cans. Just beer cans.
just you know, like if I was
Just
good at like
Greek
graphics
letters.
or whatever, I'd throw it into the YouTube video or whatever. Just like Cobra.
Zach
Just,
Galifianakis at the poker table.
Yeah.
Meme. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
Greek letters and stuff. Yeah.
It's like that. Yep. Just like that.
I can't remember the last time.
How does it work for you? I mean,
Yeah,
is it-
yeah.
So,
I want to know what you do.
I'm trying to, you know, because both of you guys are like 20 to 30 minutes. Me, I don't have that sort of time where I'm going to do. I try to be in and I try to be.
time.
Oh, I try to be in and out.
It's one of the rare instances that I enjoy shopping.
So
It
That's
is
a good
the
point.
rare
Great
instance
point.
that I enjoy shopping.
I love shopping at Sam's Club,
I love shopping.
but I make a list, and then
I love shopping for beer, and that's it. Everything else is a list. Everything else is I know exactly where everything is. I need to get in, get my shit, and get the fuck
Everything
out.
else is a chore.
Beer shopping
I don't like
is very much
It's an exploration.
enjoyable. It's
It's an
relaxing.
exploration. You're
this is where I'm a glutton.
It's part of enjoying beer.
And if
shop for it.
If you guys felt constricted by my situation that I presented to you guys, I can never just go. It's like Pringles. I can never just go buy one. I'm leaving more time with what I can carry. If I can carry it up to the checkout, that's what I'm leaving with. So if I'm going in for just one, I can't remember a time in the last 5 years where I've done that, but I would be that individual where I'm doing like the Lady of Justice, where I'm going like this between.
Oh yeah.
two.
Well, when I'm that's
So
similar
is
to
it
me. And my
difficult
wife
just to
laughs
wear-
at me because I say I'm gonna go get a beer for tonight, and I'll find one within the first like 5 minutes. I'm like, I want that beer, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna keep looking.
Yeah.
I'm still walking through the whole store.
Exactly.
And
I'm
Caterade
gonna
is
look,
still
and
with
I'll
you?
buy like 3 beers that day.
And Caterade is still with you. and
Sometimes
she-
she'll wait in the car. I don't know.
Wow, what
I don't make her do
what
that.
an angel.
She's just like, oh yeah, go in and get a beer. Or most of the time I'll drive myself because
Right.
I was right down the street.
Because you want that time. But like, is the Suze ever sitting on the? I mean,
Oh yeah, there's been times Katie's been in the car.
I
She's
feel
normally there with me shopping, but I
Well,
mean,
yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Um,
Because her
Very-
palate's
I mean-
amazing too.
very rarely do I go in there just to buy a 6-pack. You know,
Yeah, right. It's
more.
and
or
I'm
less,
sorry I put that constraint on the story, but
Yeah, I mean, like you know, like this looks good and that looks good, but then you end up with like 15 things that look good in a cart that's $300 or whatever, and it's like, well,
it's fun.
it is fun.
Yeah.
But then I begin to let reality take over, and it's like, when am I going to get to all of this beer?
Right.
Like, I can either become a professional alcoholic and quit my job and just do this for a limited amount of time, before life falls apart, or I can just, just focus on 2 or 3 of these 6-packs and walk away with 18 beers and be happy.
That's something I will say, because as you guys have been talking, because we could almost do a whole podcast just on this. In the last 3 years, I can confidently say the times I've gone in and just bought a limited amount, and I know that it's going to be it's either a sour or an IPA. It's not a stout, it's not a porter, it's not a lager, it's a sour, it's an IPA. And if it's one of them, if you're holding a gun to my head, it's going to be an IPA.
Yeah, probably same.
Because a
That's
sour
interesting.
will wear out my palate. Like, if that's just what I'm going to drink for the night, I'm sitting by a fire because I've been having a lot of fires, it's going to be an IPA. It's just something more enjoyable statistically for me long term than drinking 4 half pipes or something like that. Half pipe's a bad example.
That's a
but-
terrible example.
That's you
would drink 100 of those.
Yeah. If your goal was to keep people in the store, which I know it's not,
Yeah.
you would start a single store, like a single beer store, not a singles dating store. A single beer store, I would read every single can, because
That's
because
crazy. I
like
never
you
knew
said
that.
you would put all the 6-packs. I do actually weight my purchase decisions by how many beers will be left over if I hate this beer.
Never.
You know, because I take risks on some of the beer.
I'll drink it all.
Well,
I won't drink it. If I hate the beer, it's going to sit in my fridge or I'm going to give it away.
that's one of my favorite things about Dorothy Lane Market is almost every single beer that they have on the shelf. There's an entire shelf that is nothing but
awesome.
singles.
Yeah, I don't go to that Dorothy Lane. I go to the local one, and it doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I should start going to that.
So
the one on Far Hills.
Well, the one on Far Hills or the one down by Crooked Handle.
Oh,
I go to the one by
I
Crooked
didn't even
Handle.
know there was one down there.
Yeah, it's right by Crooked Handle.
There's a big one in
Is that
Centerville,
DLM
right
by the art
Elsa's?
gallery
Yeah.
on the corner of? I don't know. I don't venture that way.
Yeah.
Too much, but-
Either way, like I said, that's why I go shop there is because exactly.
Yeah.
Do I want a 6-pack of this
I don't
beer?
want a 6-pack
Or do I
of a
just
beer I
want
hate.
this beer?
Yeah, I just
And
want the one beer.
More often than not, I end up with just wanting a beer, this one beer.
Yep.
And more often than not, it's in that shelf. They've got this
awesome.
entire shelf.
That's what we
nothing
need.
but
We need
one-offs.
one
And it's kind of it's stacked deep. There could be a 6-pack of that beer just all broken apart.
Yeah.
You could get 6 of one all broken
Yeah,
apart.
but I
You
don't
pay
want
for
that.
it
I want
individually. I'm just saying there's
Yeah.
it's not a single beer.
Yeah.
You could get a few of them.
That's my question to you, Chuggalos. What drives your beer purchase if you're just going to go and you're just going to buy a one-off and you're going to the beer store, wherever you buy your beer, and you're just going to buy a 6-pack, a 12-pack or whatever, and you're going to drink that. Try to make it craft. I understand, we have swill drinkers, Miller Lite, and stuff like that are going over quantity something, but you're just going to go have a 6-pack. And you're going to drink it for the night. What drives your purchase, and how do you make that purchase? Post that on our social media. Again, thank you for responding to the draft can bottle conversation. Again, there was a few people that did. So
Yeah, that was great. I just thought of this. If you want malls to come back, put a big beer store right at the front, and that's like your daddy daycare. And we'll walk around aimlessly for like 2 hours, and the women can go shop in all the other stores, like if that's what they do. You know, I'm not profiling what people do, but I would do that.
And if you want to make that sweet JT money,
you want to make that sweet JT money,
guys,
malls are coming back.
Malls
Malls are going to come back. People are.
Well, I mean, if you look at GameStop, it seems like malls are coming back. Because that's where you got to go to GameStop at the mall.
Malls are coming back.
Ever since they put that VR game at the abandoned jewelry store, it just seems like it's pointing up.
Post coronavirus, people are going to want to socialize.
That's
people
a good
are
point.
Want to shop and try on clothes instead of.
I feel like some
mail
things.
ordering.
No, I know my sizes.
I think we learn things.
You don't know your sizes on Amazon. No one knows their sizes on Amazon.
That's true. I'm not on Amazon.
No, mine.
I think we did learn some things that we are okay.
That sweater
doing
from
without.
Amazon, by the way. Sweater you saw me in today, Amazon.
Was it the right size when you first
Fuck
ordered it?
yeah.
This sweater's from Amazon.
Incorrect.
Is that?
Incorrect.
I hate returning things. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Anyway.
I was accosted trying on clothes the last time I tried clothes on in a department store. 2006. Last time I tried clothes on.
Jeez.
You don't try clothes on when you buy
Fuck
them?
no. Fuck no. Lady pushing a stroller.
Did you kick that thing over or what?
No,
I don't
I'm
know what
not
you're
offended.
talking
If you beat off to it, you can't say that you're offended. That's a rule.
That's your thing, ladies with strollers.
No, it wasn't. But
But now it is.
I mean, it's not now.
Oh, it's not
But
now.
it's like, oh, you know,
but it
she's-
was your
Yeah.
thing.
Nice butt, Well, I was
Alright.
trying on pants.
You're trying on pants.
Just trying on pants, and she.
She
Well,
butted
pushing-
you. She
Gave
nice
you
butted
the
you.
honk.
Oh, I thought
Uh-huh.
you gave her the.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
no!
I
God no!
I thought you were
there's
into
no
women
crimes
with strollers.
No,
I was like, oh,
no
this dude's
crimes.
like-
I know. I got.
No,
It's like, I don't know
no,
what's happening here.
no,
You like
no,
women with
no,
strollers.
No crimes committed here. Not
She
by me.
touched your butt.
Yeah, she gave me the double.
That's sexual assault.
Double.
And you should.
No, but if you beat off to it, it's not a crime.
Oh, okay. You did that.
All right.
So that's where we are.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the Brew Crew podcast. I had parting words, but I forgot them because Matt got butt pinched by a woman with a stroller.
Double squeeze,
And
not
then
pinched.
For some
Full
unknown
hand. Like a cantaloupe,
reason,
like you're
keyed
checking
off
it.
to it. Was like, that was a cool experience. I want to experience that again. And I'm going to do it in my head right now.
Yeah.
In my head.
Jeez. See you guys.
That's it. Bye.